Let me go to you here. You know, what are the most pressing concerns for young Americans regarding education and student debt, and what solutions are being proposed? And do you think that what is being proposed is good enough? Victoria.
Well, a couple of thoughts. First of all, education, I think we are really broadening the idea of what education really is in this day and age, because lots of people like myself that went to college and have student loans, we're seeing, why the heck did we do that? We learned absolutely nothing in the classroom. Everything that we've actually learned and apply in our careers day to day is things that we've learned on the job. There's definitely some kind of skills that we did pick up that enabled us to take our first or our second job, but if you've been in the workforce like me, just a few years out of college, you know, 5, 6 years, we're really seeing that, again, most of the learning comes at the job. Whatever that may be. You know, I was trained in journalism school and media school. I'm here doing media, so, you know, I was on the path to being here with my collegiate education. But I've worked for small startup media outlets. I've worked on the comm side of campaigns, and everything I learned to do in those jobs, I learned while I was doing them, not in the classroom. The classrooms taught me the theory, but nothing of what my day-to-day would look like as a journalist, a commentator, a speaker, anything that I do today. And we're seeing that we still have those student loan burdens. You know, thankfully I ended up with very little compared to a lot of my peers. I was a student athlete, and, you know, my parents did help me out a little bit, and so it was kind of split between scholarships I got, athletics, and some family help. And so I am definitely very fortunate among other members of my generation. But we're also seeing that you don't have to go to college at all to have a good paying job. And that's why people my age and even a little bit younger, closer to my other co-contributor tonight's age, we're realizing we don't have to go to college to make a good job, and we'll actually have a better hand up in society to do things like start a family, own a home, if we don't have that student loan debt and burden weighing us down and keeping us from propelling to the next generation of what our lives look like.
No, Victoria, let me continue that thread, because I just mentioned to Bruce and Ed about former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton saying that if Trump were to win, he would turn back the clock on women, women's health, women's progress. And she also said that the reason why she lost is that women saw her as being not perfect, but yet if you're a man, they'll give you a pass, because you can be an imperfect man, but you can't be an imperfect woman. Does it really cheapen your intellect to say to women that you did not realize what you were doing when you did not vote for me and you voted for Trump? What does that tell women across the country?
Well, I think that actually really plays into the narrative that Democrats are trying to place on Republicans, which is, you know, I'm a woman, my vote is only what my father says or what my husband says, and that really cheapens us, as you said, as individuals, as free thinkers, as people that have their own goals and aspirations. And sure, that can be within a very vibrant and vigorous family dynamic, whether that's, again, with parents or with your own families that you're starting up. But here's the truth, is that women are able to make decisions based on things other than their body, based on things other than what they see. They feel pocketbook issues as much as men. You know, women graduate college at higher rates than men. They're in the workforce at historically high levels, and obviously right now that's gone backwards a little bit since COVID times, and since a lot of women had to kind of go back into the household and leave the workforce. But I think we're kind of seeing that reverse now because of inflation and Bidenomics. Women can't afford to stay home. And so saying that women that bring home a paycheck, that see the bills that come into the household every day, or women whose husbands bring home the paycheck, and, you know, hopefully people have healthy family dynamics where the women are involved in the finances of the household, much like we are in my own household. You know, my husband and I are both proud career young professionals, both kind of paving our own lanes in this great city of Washington, D.C. and the greater D.C. region where we live. And so, you know, our votes are as equal, if not more important than the votes of men, because they often get overseen as saying, oh, well, the woman's just going to vote how her husband does. You know, my husband and I, even though we're both staunch conservatives, we disagree slightly, but we do disagree on policy issues. You know, in primary races, we might vote for different people. And that's, you know, it shouldn't come as a surprise, because, again, the feminist movement told women that we could be all these things, and now you're going backwards and saying, actually, we can't. We have to face the reality as it is. And one way to take control of our future is to vote, and is to have our voices known on the opinions or on the issues that matter to us, and make sure that those opinions are seen and felt at the ballot box with candidates that are running this November and every election, before then in primaries and after that in 2025 and beyond.